What's up, guys? What are you doing in my living room? It's kind of weird just to barge in, you know? Well, since you're here in this more comfortable atmosphere with me, let's just go ahead and talk, just one-on-one, just me and you. Today, I want to talk to the aspiring entrepreneurs, and whether it's YouTube or something else, this applies to you. However, I'm going to be focusing mostly on just starting a YouTube channel, because I know that someone watching this video is thinking about starting a YouTube channel. So I want to talk to you guys today about the things that I wish I knew before starting my channel. This video is going to be a little bit more casual, but let's just go ahead and get started. So firstly, I just want to say how much time that I personally spend on making YouTube videos and learning skills to make better YouTube videos. I'm married and I want to spend time with my wife, but I also have a full-time job where I work from 6:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon usually. And so I'll usually be doing that for 40 to 45 hours a week. And I'm not going to say exactly where I work. If you really want to dig for it, you can find out, but I work in the financial industry, and it's a little competitive, and I have to spend a lot of time dedicated to my work. Say hi, Sydney. I wanted to have a more casual video, and I might just keep this keep this cut in.
Okay.
I was just talking about you. You probably look so awkward on camera right now.
Yeah, that's me.
That's Sydney, everybody. Yeah, Sydney works too. She's got a full-time job as well. Where was I? And then outside of my full-time job, I'm still spending 15 to 25 hours a week on projects or studying or whatever I need to do for school. That way I can get my degree, hopefully within the next year. I keep pushing that off though because I got a great internship, and so I took a lighter course load for that, and then I switched schools, and then I lost some of my credits. Those didn't transfer, and then now I've got a full-time job and they want me to get my degree, but they hired me without my degree. But I still need to get that, and I just keep pushing it off, but taking less credits per semester so I can do these other things. And that sucks, but that's kind of what you do in these sort of situations. That way you can still do it all. Or at least that's what I'm doing. I wouldn't say that that's the right way to do it. Maybe it's better just knock it out and then get started on things, but I've already gotten started on the things. I've got my full-time career now. But anyway, I'm a busy guy. I don't have a lot of free time, and YouTube takes up a surprisingly large amount of my limited free time. I didn't actually think that it would take so long to make these videos, because if you watch any of Meet Kevin's videos, then you know that his process is he spends a couple hours researching a topic, he'll film straight through, and I guess he's just better at filming than I am, but he'll film the whole video straight through and then edit for, he says, like 5 minutes, which is crazy. I'm sure he hasn't always been that way, but my editing takes me hours. Like my most recent video that I did on the 15-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage, that's a 16-minute video, but I filmed for almost an hour and a half just trying to get the right take, and then I was editing it for, 6 to 8 hours just to try and make it perfect, or as close to perfect as I know how right now. But I had no idea the amount of time that I would have to spend just learning new skills. Like I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is, in my opinion, one of the best video editing softwares out there. But it is a beast if you're not familiar with it. And it can do so much, but I'm just constantly learning. I'm constantly going through tutorials on how to make my editing better. I'm always reading about like cameras and lenses, because right now I'm on my GoPro, and that's why the footage is, it's okay. It's not bad. You can definitely start a YouTube channel on a GoPro, but I'd like to get a better camera. That way it's a better experience for you guys. And I spend so much time just researching these things that would help elevate the quality of my content. That way I get better at the software that I use, better at Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro. Maybe I'll get into After Effects, but I still don't know how to use After Effects. And that's just the amount of time that I spend learning how to make videos. That's not even the amount of time that I spend researching or planning or writing out a script. And that's where I spend the majority of my time when it comes to YouTube. I'll write out a script for, 4 to 6, even 8 hours sometimes if I'm doing a lot of research and I really just want to make sure that I use the best words that I can to get my point across. And I'm sure I'll get better at making videos, and that means I'll get faster as well as I streamline my process and I'm able to just automate tasks and, all that other corporate jargon. But I wish I had more of an understanding on how much time this would actually take to make these YouTube videos. Not that I regret it, but I wish I just knew beforehand. Number two, I wish that I knew how many skills you actually need to start a YouTube channel. Like, yeah, you can totally start a YouTube channel with a GoPro or even just a phone. You can totally do that. But if you really want to elevate your content, then at some point you're going to buy a new camera. And if you're going to edit videos really well, then you probably don't want to do that on your phone. It works out much better on a computer like your laptop or PC or whatever you use. Video editing is not something that I had any experience with. And Photoshop, to make thumbnails, I took a Photoshop class in like my sophomore year of high school. That was like 10 years ago, which makes me sound really old. I'm actually turning 25 in like 3 weeks, something like that. August 2nd, mark your calendars. I'm just kidding. It's not that important. But I didn't have any experience with Photoshop outside of that one class from 10 years ago. So I know basically nothing about that. I've never used professional photography software for editing pictures. All of these skills that you need to actually make a video, I didn't really have. The only thing that I sort of had was a bit of a creative writing ability to make a script. And I haven't taken any creative writing classes, but as a teenager, I was pretty into reading and I read a lot of books. And I'm passionate about like comedy, like stand-up comedy. I've always been like a student of the craft and storytelling, which I think is really important. And in this video, I'm not going to be doing a very good job of that, but I think having an interest in those things at least makes it easier to learn those skills and to get better at them. The next thing that I didn't really know before, but I definitely understand now, is that creating these videos is so much more rewarding than I had previously thought that they would be. The amount of reach that you have on this platform is insane. I can put out a video and get comments from people in Australia and Canada and Germany and India. And I love everyone who comments on my videos and, interacts. And I feel like we're creating this sort of a community based around personal finance and investing, and I hope to be able to provide that experience to you. But it is insane the amount of impact you can have on people that you've never actually met. People ask me questions in the comments all the time about, like, someone asked about setting up a Roth IRA for their kids. I'm like, I hadn't even thought of that, and I didn't talk about that in any of my Roth IRA videos, but I went ahead and answered in the comments for them. And maybe if they set up a Roth IRA, I helped impact not only them, but their child's life in the future. That's insane. Like, I don't even know this person. But this kind of brings me to one of the major reasons why I actually started this channel. Some of you guys know this about me, but I used to work as a financial advisor at a financial planning firm. I worked on a team of advisors, and I feel like we did good things for people, but I felt like at times there was also a conflict of interest because we were incentivized to push products for a client that maybe weren't the best for them. And don't get me wrong, some investing is definitely better than no investing, but if we're pushing a product that maybe has a lot of fees or maybe isn't going to get as great of a return as I think they could somewhere else, then I just don't feel good about that. I want to provide the best experience for my clients. And now here, I feel like I have no obligations to sell any products. I just want to give you guys clear, straight financial information where you guys can make decisions after watching the video. And I may give some guidance, but it's never financial advice, of course. Don't sue me. But I love that on this platform, regardless of if I'm actually making any money right now, then I can still have a great impact to people just by making a video of me talking to my GoPro. And I hoped for this, but I didn't fully understand exactly what it would feel like when I started my channel, but I definitely do now, where you put something out there and you're putting yourself out there at the same time, but you're trying to benefit other people, and then they respond saying, hey, I hadn't thought of it that way, or hey, I love this. This really helped me right now. And that's the main reason why I continue to make these videos, because I want to be able to impact a ton of people without any moral obligation on the way, where I can just feel good about the results of what I've done. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on this one, but the next thing that I wish I would have known is that you can go viral with no subscribers. And I know that viral is generally considered meaning like 1 million views, but for me on my channel, I consider right now a viral video to be like 20,000 views within a week. That to me is like, that's a ton of views. That is viral for me. And for a small channel, less than 1,000 subscribers, if you have a video that gets over 10, 20, 30,000 views, that's viral for you. And that is awesome. Cherish that moment and just relish in the success that you have. But don't get discouraged when your videos only get 8 views at first, when they get 30 views, or when I started videos getting consistently like 60, 70, 80 views, that was awesome to me. That was so cool. And that's going to be normal for you at first. If you start a channel, you know, you're not going to get a ton of views on every video, but then don't think that that means that just because you're not getting a lot of views on every video, that your next video couldn't blow up. Because you never know. You could make a great video when, you know, as long as you get 1% better each video, if you just improve with each video over time, eventually you're going to have a video that pops and it's going to do so well overnight. You're going to be amazed at how good it does. Number 5, and I've kind of touched on it and just hinted at it throughout the video, but you really don't need that much gear to get started on YouTube. You can totally start from your phone. I know you have one and you're probably watching this video on your phone. You can start with that if you need to. Luckily, I already had a GoPro. My wife got me one for my birthday last year, and so this is what I used. But really, you don't need to buy expensive gear up front. Just use the best of whatever you have in front of you. So if you only have your phone, then use that. If you have a GoPro, then use that. If you took photography classes in high school and you have a really nice camera laying around, then use that. And you can get creative with lighting or a tripod. Like right now, you are sitting on a banana. A literal banana. You're sitting on a little stand in my kitchen, and I have a banana that is like tilted the right way. That way the GoPro is level and nice and firm. I'll take a picture and I'll include it in the video, but you don't need to buy expensive gear to have quality video. Now, I will say that I think it is important to upgrade your audio as quickly as it makes sense. You know, I think you should get a good mic as quickly as you can, but if funds are tight, then, you know, still just use the best of what you have until you can get there. And lastly, I sort of realized this one before starting my channel, but I didn't fully grasp exactly how big the difference would be. But as Sean Cannell at Think Media likes to say, your first videos are your worst videos. And that is so true, because I have a hard time watching like my first 10 videos. I don't think they're that great. I know that a couple of them have, you know, a few hundred views, and awesome thank you to all those who supported me early on and actually watched those videos. But man, I was rough in front of the camera. And even right now, I could get a lot better. I'm pretty stiff right now. My shoulders get hunched up. And, you know, I need to loosen up a little bit, sit up straight. But your first videos are gonna suck, and that's okay. That's just how it is. Everyone has to start somewhere. You don't have to be ashamed of sucking a little bit in the beginning. As long as you suck a little bit less and just get better with every video in some way, then that's all that matters. Because eventually, if you stick with it and you get better just a little bit with every video, then eventually you're gonna be making awesome content. You're gonna be providing a lot of value to people at a really high level. So if you're apprehensive about starting because you think that your content's not going to be very good or you don't have the right gear, just get over it. Those are excuses, and you need to get over it. Even if you don't think that you're going to be good at thinking of video ideas, oh well, make one video and just throw it out there. It doesn't even matter what it's about. The point is that you need to get started. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, then get serious about it and just do it. It doesn't even matter if your channel blows up and you rake in millions of dollars like Mr. Beast. The thing that matters is that you start where you're at and you get a little bit better every time. Because that's what Mr. Beast and every other big channel has done. If you go back and look at Mr. Beast's old content from like 5-6 years ago, it's not very interesting. The quality wasn't really there. But over time, he got a little bit better with every video. Eventually, he sort of cracked the code, and now he's one of the biggest channels on YouTube. But he started in very humble beginnings, and you can too. So guys, I know this is a little bit different from my usual content. I hope you enjoyed being in my living room, and if you want to come hang out on my couch sometime, you just let me know, and I'll unlock the door. We can get some drinks or something, and get some snacks, and Sydney can come back in, and she can make some jalapeno poppers. If you made it this far and you found any value in what I'm talking about, or if you just felt a bit of a connection, like, you know what, I have thought about starting a YouTube channel, then drop a like on the video, and I encourage you, start with whatever you have. And as always, I love you guys, and I'll catch you next time.